SaaS companies are dying because of AI right now. And I don't mean struggling, I mean actually dying. And if you're building your startup in the wrong category, this is a real concern. But here's the thing, plenty of SaaS companies are also thriving right now, mine included. We've grown from 0 to mid 7 figures in ARR in just a few years, profitable with over 200,000 users. So I wanted to record a video explaining what I'm seeing when it comes to scaling SaaS in the age of AI, which companies that I think are going to thrive and survive in this market, and what I'm doing within my SaaS to make sure we are benefiting from this whole shift. Let's dive in. From what I'm seeing, it's not just all hype. AI genuinely does threaten a very specific category of SaaS, and founders in that category should take it very seriously. What AI threatens specifically are products where the only competitive advantage was that they were expensive or technically difficult to build. If that is your moat, it's effectively gone, because a capable developer with the right AI tools today can rebuild a version of your product in a fraction of the time and the cost it used to get there. I know this because I rebuilt our entire website and blog in just a week with Claude Code after spending over $20,000 in a year with an agency in the past. So when people say AI is killing SaaS, they're describing products that never had to earn loyalty from customers in the first place. They just had to be hard enough to build that nobody else built it. And the market is already reflecting this. The SaaS companies struggling to raise, struggling to retain customers, or watching growth stall are almost all within this category. It's not that their product is bad so much as the thing that they built their business on is no longer scarce. And when something stops being scarce, price comes down, competition goes up, and margins start to impress. It's economics 101. So the concern with AI is real. It just leads people to the wrong conclusion. What's actually happening here is the market is splitting. On one half, there will be companies that won't survive the next couple of years, and on the other half, there are companies that will actually benefit from AI. So the question isn't whether SaaS is dying as a category, it's which type of SaaS is dying and which type isn't. The first thing that the SaaS companies that are thriving today have is distribution. Real distribution means a brand people recognize and a channel that keeps bringing in customers day in and day out. And the longer you have it, the stronger it gets. For example, are you one of the 3 eminent names that show up or people think of when customers think of a category? Do you have brand eminence? The distribution you attain by being synonymous within your category or industry is simply what AI can't replicate, because this earned distribution comes from years and years of doing things that don't scale, like creating valuable content, building in public, talking to customers, getting past InfoSec and enterprise security, and showing up day in and day out in communities. At my current company, Superdemo, the channels that drove growth from $100K to over $1 million in ARR were content marketing, free tools with ungated access, community engagement, and SEO, all of which took months and months, if not years, of consistent work before they even started compounding in the first place. This whole doom and gloom narrative about AI is no different than the same mistakes that founders have made forever, thinking that if you build it, customers will come. With a seemingly new launch every single day and more noise than ever before, repeatable distribution is what matters today than ever before. The second trait that defensible SaaS companies have today is customer trust baked into their habitual workflow. When your customers have your product embedded into how their team operates day in and day out, switching carries a massive cost, and that cost goes up the longer they're with you. Now, parlay that across 5, 10, or even 100 people that use your product across their day-to-day workflow within a company. The change management needed to get people to modify their habits is a real moat. Case in point, at Superdemo, we specifically build features and products centered around habitual workflows, not just in one department, but across multiple use cases across the organization. This includes encouraging people that are using demos for sales to use it for internal training and documentation for HR. All this means we have lateral adoption across the business and have 100% plus net revenue retention rates, meaning the customers who stay with us actually expand usage as well as spending over time. And there's no shortcuts to this. This only happens when the product becomes sticky and a part of how sales, customer success, and onboarding teams actually work and want to work, which takes time, patience, a lot of hand-to-hand education to build and deploy. By the way, one of the fastest ways to build trust, build scalable distribution, is letting prospects experience your product and self-learn before they have to book a demo or talk to a salesperson. And that's why I built Super Demo, for which I'll leave a link in the description for below. Anyways, back to the video. Now, the third thing that defensible SaaS companies have are accumulated insights from years of serving a very specific type of industry, customer, or space. AI can give you generic output fast, but it often can't replicate the institutional knowledge that comes from serving thousands, if not tens of thousands of companies within a specific market. In my SaaS, we're power users of the product itself, and we've lived through the pain of creating thousands of product demos from scratch. We know which types of demos perform, where the industry is headed, common pitfalls, and mistakes that customers make. We also know what makes them tick. This is the kind of esoteric knowledge that helps you decide what should and shouldn't be built in the first place, along with a taste for what is good. And you only develop this kind of intuition by being embedded in one market long enough. And compared to your level of expertise, the level of context, or the knowledge to even prompt a generic model to replicate. So the real dividing line isn't between SaaS and AI products. It's between SaaS that's genuinely defensible and SaaS that isn't. Distribution, customer trust, and accumulated insights are defensible, and it helps you move faster in the age of generative AI. And if your product is hard to displace, even if a competitor came in tomorrow and rebuilt it, a carbon copy of it in fact, you're in a much better position today. The first move is simple. Get honest about what's actually protecting your SaaS. Is it distribution? Is it customer relationships? Is it accumulated data from your specific user base? Or is it a network effect? For us at Super Demo, a lot of it is distribution. Roughly 30 to 40% of our traffic comes directly from SEO and LLMs, and another 30% from word of mouth and virality of our product itself. For example, our product itself has a viral flywheel embedded within the ethos of the product itself. And we've already started accumulating and building the snowball effect, where every new demo shared brings in other customers and leads efficiently. We also have established partnerships and relationships with large enterprises who now deploy Super Demo across multiple departments and hundreds, if not thousands of users, which makes it really hard to rip out. And none of that came from technical complexity of the product. It came from execution and distribution. So if the honest answer is that your product is around because it was technically complex to build once, there's a risk that you need to take seriously and start working on right away. And from there, the real priority is building or rebuilding your moat as fast as you can. A lot of the companies that win in the AI era are going to be the ones that build repeatable, defensible distribution the fastest, and features alone are not what is going to get you there. And this is actually where AI can help. You can ship faster, you can run more experiments, and you can compress the time that it takes to find out what works without needing a big team to do it. Now, distribution gets customers in through the door, but retention is actually what compounds and helps your business grow sustainably. If you're adding customers but churning at roughly the same rate, you're not actually compounding. The goal is to get to a place where customers who stay expand their usage and spend over time, embed your product into their core workflows, and organically bring others in through the door, because that compounds way faster than any form of paid acquisition. For example, one of the best things that we could have done is to work on retention from day one before it ever felt urgent. Unlike a lot of early stage companies that focus purely on top line growth, we were pretty manic and we were obsessive about keeping every single customer that we brought in. By focusing on keeping our retention rate above 100% from the very get-go, we knew that our product market fit, or our PMF, was real. It was not just a matter of growth offsetting customers that we were losing. Ultimately, the earlier you can focus on fixing retention, the harder your business is going to become to kill. So here's the thing. AI compresses the timeline, but it doesn't change what you actually have to build. You still need product market fit, a distribution channel that is repeatable, and customers who love what you built enough to stick around and eventually expand. And sure, the length of time that you have PMF for today is shorter in the age of AI, but you've always had to reinvent your business and iterate upgrade if you wanted something durable. And AI hasn't changed that at all. What changes is that you have to prove yourself faster because the cost of building and the speed at which competitors can catch up have both gone. So in 2026, I recommend taking that urgency and channeling it into reinventing your product market fit, reinventing your business, and building stickiness and distribution faster than you would have done before. Because that is where AI actually works in your favor. And if you want to start building customer trust faster than most SaaS companies, you can try Super Demo completely for free. It lets you create interactive product experiences that you can share in-app and out-of-app across onboarding, sales, marketing, and training. So prospects can experience your product, your benefits, and learn by doing, all before jumping on a sales call. Again, you can try Super Demo for free by clicking below. And if you want to learn how to validate your SaaS ideas before you even start building, then you can check out this video next.